Hello friends, here are our compare and contrast pages. I'm going to read about each planet, so if I'm not reading about the planets that you are focusing on, you'll need to skip ahead a little bit in the video. As we read these passages, we are comparing and contrasting. When we compare, we talk about how things are the same, and when we contrast, we talk about how they are different. So over here, after I read this passage, you would put things that are only about Mars, things that are about both, and then things that are only about Mercury. Mars and Mercury are both in the inner planets group of the solar system. They have similar surface gravity. Mercury does not have any moons, but Mars has 2 moons. Both planets are rocky and have an iron core. Mercury is the smallest planet, and Mars is the second smallest planet in the solar system. There have been more spacecraft to visit Mars than Mercury. Both Mars and Mercury have craters, but Mercury has more due to having no atmosphere. So you can always rewind and listen to it again. Pause it as you hear things that are the same for both or just one or the other. If you have Venus and Earth, then this part is for you. So again, you're going to compare and contrast. So things that are only about Venus will go here. Things that are about Venus and Earth will go here. And then things that are just about Earth will go here. Venus and Earth are both inner planets. Venus is the second planet from the Sun, and Earth is the third planet from the Sun. Since Venus is closer to the Sun, it is a lot hotter than Earth. Both planets are made of rock. Like Earth, Venus does not have rings. Unlike Earth, which has 1 moon, Venus does not have any moons. Earth is the only planet known to have living things. Venus and Earth have nearly the same density and are close to the same size. If you need to hear that passage again, make sure you rewind the video a little bit. Pause it when you hear things that are the same or different so you can write them where they belong. If you have Jupiter or Saturn, then this is your passage. Remember, things that are just about Jupiter go here, things that are about both Jupiter and Saturn go here, and things that are just about Saturn go here. Jupiter and Saturn are both outer planets and made up of gas. Jupiter is the 5th planet from the Sun, and Saturn is the 6th planet from the Sun. Both planets have a lot of moons. Saturn has more moons than Jupiter. Jupiter and Saturn both have rings. Unlike Saturn's bright rings, Jupiter's rings are hard to see. The clouds on both Jupiter and Saturn are divided into dark belts and bright zones, but the colors of Saturn are more subtle and less colorful than Jupiter. So again, if you need to hear that again, make sure you rewind and pause it if you hear something that is the same or different about Jupiter and Saturn. If you had Uranus or Neptune, then this is your passage. You're going to write here things that are just about Uranus. In the middle, you'll write things that are about both. And on Neptune's side, you'll write things that are only about Neptune. Uranus and Neptune are both in the outer planets group of the solar system. They are both considered ice giants and are very cold. Uranus is colder than Neptune. They both have rings around them and are made up of the same gases. Uranus has more moons than Neptune. Uranus has a cyan color, while Neptune is a darker blue. Because Uranus is closer to the Sun, it orbits the Sun faster than Neptune. Uranus was discovered first on March 13, 1781. Then Neptune was discovered on September 23, 1846. So make sure you re-listen to this part of the video if you need to hear the passage again, and pause it when you hear the things that are the same or different about Uranus and Neptune so you can write them down where they belong.